Hi everyone, we are Group 14 and today we will be presenting a case study focused on corruption allegation involving former Malaysian Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. So before I start, let me briefly introduce my group member. My name is Chin Chia and my group member have been Jin Dong, Pivian and also Sharifa Soha. And here we can see our four parts. The table of content got four parts. So I will explain the case background. So take a closer look at the background of this case, which revolves around Muhyiddin Yassin, Malaysia's former prime minister. He served during a particularly challenging period, including the COVID-19 pandemic, and also his administration has come under scrutiny of alleged corruption. Next slide. The core allegation focus on abuse of power and money laundering. Specifically, it is alleged that Muhyiddin misused his position to secure significant financial gains for himself and his political party Bersatu. Firstly, there are accusations that he received Rm232.5 million for Bersatu. This money allegedly came from bribes linked to government contracts. Secondly, the private entities were reportedly pressured to contribute funds in exchange for access to lucrative government contracts. This raised concern about fairness and transparency in public procurement process. Thirdly, during the pandemic, the COVID-19, various relief projects were launched to support the country. However, it's alleged that these initiatives were exploited as a cover to funnel money into political or personal accounts. This case is not just about isolated incidents, it highlights the systematic issues within governance structures and raises important questions about accountability, especially in times of crisis like the pandemic. By examining the allegation, we can better understand the broader implication of corruption in the leadership roles.
Hi, my name is Sharifa Soha and I'm going to talk about the serious allegation against Muhyiddin Yassin, focusing on two key charges, which are bribery and money laundering. These charges has far-reaching consequences, not only legally but also socially and economically. So first is bribery. Muhyiddin Yassin is accused of accepting bribes from companies in exchange for favorable treatment in COVID-19 relief contract, which significantly undermines fairness of competition by sidelining business that follows proper procedure. This not only erodes trust in fair business practice but also destroys the transparency by creating a veil of secrecy around the public resources are allocated. Such action compromise ethical governance and shape the foundation of fairness and justice in public administration. So bribery in Malaysia is not a new phenomenon. It's not a new thing. It has been a persistent issue deeply embedded in various levels of government. These implications of this action extend beyond individual case, fostering an environment where corruption risk becomes normalized. This instance underscores broader systematic issue within Malaysian politics, where connections of favoritism often overshadow merits-based decision-making. Okay, next is money laundering. Muhyiddin Yassin is accused of engaging in money laundering by using financial transactions to conceal illicit funds from pandemic relief funds. Money laundering is a critical concern for law enforcement agencies worldwide. It is enable criminals to legitimize their proceeds and reinvest them into the economy. This violates the fundamental financial law and exposes systematic vulnerabilities, while also distorting the economies and undermining legitimized financial operation. This action erodes public confidence in governance as leaders implicates in such activities compromise institutional integrity and contribute to a culture of corruption. By enabling the reinvestment of illegal funds, money laundering perpetuates unethical practice, threatening financial stability and public trust. So the conclusion is, to conclude, these charges of bribery and money laundering against Muhyiddin Yassin highlights critical governance failure. The reaped effect is pinning fairness, transparency, economic stability, and public trust are severe and far-reaching. It is imperative to address this issue transparently and uphold the principle of justice to restore faith in our system. Thank you.
I will be explaining about the impacts of the case on individuals and organizations. First, I will discuss about the political impact of this case. One of the key elements is the unprecedented prosecution of a former prime minister, which marks a major shift in how corruption is addressed at the highest level of government in Malaysia. This move reflects the government's willingness to pursue corruption cases at all levels, but it also heightens political stakes. This case has intensified existing political rivalries, particularly between Muhyiddin's supporters and those aligned with the current Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim. Accusations of political motivation have arisen, with Muhyiddin's supporters claiming that the prosecution aims to undermine his influence. This environment contributes to a more polarized and competitive political climate as parties use these allegations both as weapons against their opponents and as rallying points for their base. Next is the impact on public trust and institutions. High-profile corruption allegations like this erode public trust in political leadership. According to a report by Transparency International Malaysia, continuous corruption scandals reinforce the perception that leaders prioritize personal interest over public service. This perception extends beyond individual leaders. It affects how citizens view democratic processes and government institutions as a whole. As public disillusionment deepens, there is a risk of civic disengagement, with people feeling skeptical about participating in governance and democratic practices. This erosion of trust weakens democratic engagement and can contribute to political instability, demonstrating the urgent need for reforms to restore transparency and accountability. Lastly, I will talk about the economic consequences. Their impact on foreign investment, as corruption scandals often deter foreign investors who seek a stable political environment. The CRI group notes that Malaysia's economic recovery post-pandemic depends heavily on foreign investments, but political uncertainty can cause hesitancy and delays in commitments from potential investors. This uncertainty has the potential to stifle economic growth, complicating the nation's recovery efforts during an already challenging period.
The corruption charges facing former Malaysian Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin are a compelling case for understanding the systematic nature for corruption and its impact on governance, public trust, and economic stability. We can learn many useful lessons from it. The major takeaway from the Muhyiddin case is the importance of empowering anti-corruption bodies. In Malaysia, where there are institutions like the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), their independence is often compromised by political influence, which weakens their ability to effectively tackle corruption. This highlights the need for reforms and to ensure that anti-corruption agencies have the power to do their job without interferences. Corruption is closely tied to a lack of accountability, where influential people are able to avoid scrutiny. This was evidence the Muhyiddin case, where political leaders used their power to hide their actions. It's clear that legal charges are needed to protect the independence for anti-corruption institutions and give them the authorities to hold people in power accountable. Another important lesson is the erosion for public trust. Trust in government is essential for a stable democracy, but scandals like this one lead to widespread public disillusionment. When corruption becomes normalized, it fosters a culture when people believe that the powerful can get away with anything. This damages public confidence, leading to power servants' participation and a general lack of faith in the system. To restore trust, there need to become consistent law enforcement and a clear message that no one is above the law. Finally, the case highlights the importance for leadership. Leaders must set a strong example to maintain governance integrity. Leaders must be example, prioritizing transparency, individual integrity, and ethics decision making. This will help create a culture of honest and integrity across the political systems, making it harder for corruption to take root. Thank you.